Mercury in Scorpio on a horoscope loves to see the reality of life exactly as it is. It sees life's beautiful and luminous side, but it also sees all of its ugliness and darkness. Mercury in Scorpio acknowledges and easily deals with treason, envy, struggle for power, diseases, and all sorts of evil you can imagine. Mercury in Scorpio hates naivety, always choosing reality. Since it knows how to deal with both sides of life, it has much bigger chances to be successful. New York is a city that has a huge number of well-being therapies. Massages, yoga, chiropractic, acupuncture, essential oils, and so on. In fact, the sensation of well-being is wonderful. I'm Cavalher. One of my definitions of wealth is to have a masseur that visits me every night and takes care of me before I go to sleep. It didn't happen in my life yet. One day in New York, someone told me, "I'm crazy to have a session with you because I want to relax." I answered, "Whoa, the last thing you would do in a session with me is to relax. You will be tenser." The person asked me straight away, "Why would someone pay to be even tenser?" Although I love all the well-being therapies, I don't work with that. I work with something Mercury in Scorpio loves: consciousness development. Well-being therapies make you feel well. They focus on health and well-being. Consciousness development focus on showing to you the reality of life exactly as it is and on enabling you to deal with that reality. But people prefer to deny that reality. The fact that everybody has flaws is considered obvious, although that people behave as if they had no flaws whatsoever and were always right. The fact that problems are a common thing in our lives is considered obvious, although that a growing number of people prefer to ignore the existence of such problems. They think that acknowledging the existence of problems is to complicate life, to see problems where there isn't any. Being a pessimist, like babies, they believe that problems will cease to exist if they don't look at them. These behaviors are infantile, an unconscious and nostalgic wish to go back to childhood, when our parents would solve all our problems, and all we had to do was playing. But the worst of all is that there are pseudo-spiritual teachings that are very regarded nowadays and preach that we should ignore our problems and the existence of evil. The secret and positive thinking are the classical examples. But the techniques that reprogram the human being, once more, that reprogram the human being, once more, that reprogram the human being, not to have any more problems, like the theta healing and most of kinesiology's styles, are also proposing that problems should no longer exist. This is insane. More than that, this is dishonest. The holistic world preaches that if you turn the blind eye towards evil, evil will cease to exist. It might sound weird of me to suggest that problems and evil should exist, but the thing is that I am not suggesting or discussing if they should or should not exist. They just do. The truth is that whether you acknowledge or not the existence of problems, they do exist in your life and will have terrible consequences. Whether you acknowledge the existence of evil or not, it does exist and it will have nefarious consequences in your life. Mercury in Scorpio in astrology prefers to acknowledge the existence of evil in order to be able to deal with its consequences. One example. Let's consider one of mankind's greatest problems, sicknesses. Let's suppose you have syphilis. Do you believe that ignoring the existence of the disease of evil and focusing on the positive side of life will kill the bacteria that causes syphilis? Whether you know or not that you are infected is irrelevant. The bacteria will spread and kill you all the same. I have Mercury in Scorpio. I prefer to face evil, go to a doctor, listen to the diagnosis, take antibiotics, and heal myself. This is why my clients grow tenser. Jungian psychology increases tension on purpose. Carl Jung teaches that the tension between opposite things in life develops consciousness. Good and evil at the same time. Life is the tensest thing there is. So, I won't tell you the holistic fairy tales about spiritual beings and messages of love and hope. Together, we will face reality. You will be able to recognize and understand your problems and the difficult situations in your life. You will be able to solve some of these problems and learn to make the best with the problems that are impossible to solve. You'll understand that some of your problems are in fact advantages, that many of your personality traits that people criticize are in fact your best qualities. But above all, recognizing life's dark side and your own will show to you that your problems are the first step to unbelievable achievements.